the economists, they tell us, don't try to pass laws restricting our activity. Don't try to decide what we can do or not. Don't try to pass those laws on the market. The market is much more powerful than your puny laws, and it'll simply trample on all the things you're trying to do. In other words, it's omnipotent. Second, don't think that regulators are the answer, that regulators can do anything valid or reasonable. The market has inputs from people all over the world, from millions of people with far more knowledge than your regulators could ever have. And the term is, it's omniscient.
Yes.
Okay? And the third thing, they tell us, do what the market wants, you'll be rewarded. Misbehave, the market will punish you. And the religious term is, it's beneficent. So what are they giving us? The economists have given us omniscience, omnipotence, beneficence. What are they really defining a market to be? What's the one word? G-O-D. They've also given us one other thing. They've given us lots of collapses, the economists, lots of collapses and depressions.
Stephen, the free market economy concept sounds really good, like it's this organic thing. But when you add in all these activities of credit default swaps and derivatives and high-frequency trading and taking money and bailing out banks and all of these other inputs that are going on that are infiltrating what are called, quote, these free markets, the free markets or shorting stocks and shorting companies, and you build a company and someone could create a disaster and then do a short on it and make trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
The fact that this goes on means that there's no way we live in a free market system.
Oh, no. And the whole idea is, I can't say the word on the air, but it's BS.
Right. So
yes, and it serves the predators in the society. And it serves, in a way, the economists who usually depend on the predators for their salaries. When they're working for universities, the university depends on the predators for donations for chairs. We're in a terrible system, but we recognize it, and we also have the confidence in the human race that we can fix these things. We know what to do. We're at the point where we have to do them. And now this brings me to a crucial thing for you to understand. We only get this chance to fix things when?
Now.
Because you're in a collapse. That's right.
We're already in it.
It's only in a collapse that there's a possibility to fix this, because these creatures are so powerful. So, what do you think of people who will misuse the collapse to try to pass petty little nothing things that reform nothing? That's what you have to understand, and that will allow you to understand my attitude towards certain things. When people are out there promoting something that doesn't fix anything, such as state banking, which would only create more supporters, government supporters, for what's called fractional reserve banking, that any true monetary reformer knows the problem is fractional reserve banking has to be eliminated. So I can be very harsh when I see people proposing nonsense at this crucial time, especially if I have reason to believe that they know better. Some of them don't. But anyway, as an aside, I wanted to say that.
Where do you stand with regard to the requirement for collateralization in the entire credit system?
Okay. First of all, it's going to be a money system, not a credit system.
Right, I get that.
It's hard to get these words out of our language.
Okay, but with the collateralization of loans?
We don't attempt to alter what could be called sound backing practice. We don't attempt to alter that. Now, that others are doing that or trying to do that, that's not a part of our act. What we think should happen is that the kind of laws that were passed, for example, against discrimination against blacks, those are good things. And from that point of view, we think that it's got to be, any collateralization has to be completely reasonable and legal and decent, But we can understand how banking practice could require that, and we're not out to change that. There may be good, sound reforms that are necessary in that way, but that then gets into microeconomics, and we are at the macro level. We want the money system itself not to have built-in class warfare as it does now.
Why are you able to have the confidence you do that if you put the Federal Reserve functionality inside the government, that this will work and not be abused? Why are you so confident about that?
Well, I can give you that in just a sentence or two. We don't think there's any way we can do worse than what the private bankers have done. And that gives you a kind of confidence. In other words, the what's that term from the Hippocratic Oath? Do no damage.
Right.
We're absolutely certain that however it turns out, and we're here to make it turn out as good as possible, and we're confident in humanity that can be done. We know we're not going to do any damage, and that gives you all the confidence you really need.
Even the funding of wars that shouldn't be in place, doesn't that worry you to have the ability to create money?
That's an excellent point. And what you have to understand is that our act makes it less likely to have war.
Tell me why. Explain it.
You can guess why. I'm going to let you guess.
No, I want to know from you. I don't know.
Okay.
Other than that, most of the focus of the ability to generate money would be going toward critical infrastructure type projects.
Here's why we reduce the potential for warfare. Let's say unnecessary warfare. I'm not going to get into actual real warfare, which may happen from time to time in societies. One of the motives for warfare is financial.
Right.
It's not just the military-industrial complex, which Eisenhower so wisely warned us about. It's in the debt. If you can force the government into debt, the people who are in a position to buy that debt, the most of it, the very wealthy, they have a built-in interest in the government going into debt because they earn money on it.
Got it.
They like government debt. Whatever they say, forget it. They love government debt because over time they can get into those situations of forever increasing assets, and the government doesn't go out. I mean, that debt gets paid unless the government loses a war. So we remove that through our act. We remove because the debt gets paid off in our act, and therefore, whatever else we've done, again, do no damage. Whatever else we've done, we've removed one of the motives for warfare, which is to create government debt. Now, that's a big plus.
That is a big plus.
Big plus. We've got pluses everywhere. We even limit, believe it or not, when you read the details, you'll see we limit compound interest in this act. Now, these are terrible problems that have afflicted humanity, not just for centuries, for millennia. We know better now. We do know better. And it's time that we start to act. And why I'm confident that this is going to be possible, the various people in control, they're not the Paulsons and those characters who are reaping a few $100 million. The people that are really powerful, they have to worry about those weapons that are out there. The same kind of characters controlling the secular world, they're in charge of the weapons. Now, we know what happens with a nuclear winter. Nobody escapes, So I'm confident that, as Einstein said, God doesn't play dice with the universe. I'm confident that we're not just some joke here. I'm confident that we as a people as a species, have a greater purpose that we don't even know yet. We're too involved with all this nonsense of how